Yeah. Shall we start?
Yeah, I am here.
Live on YouTube. Yes.
Venu kitta idi pettava, book edana pettava.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We extend a warm welcome to the post-lunch session of the virtual international workshop for students and research scholars on essential skills for career building and development, organized by Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Annamalai University. It is said inspiration is external and motivation is internal. It is up to us to provide the switch within and flip it on. We have amidst us an inspiring personality, Dr. Sister Candy Dicuna, to inspire you with a session on intricacies of writing technical reports, and then to motivate you internally towards research and technical writing. It's a pleasure to introduce the resource person.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure to introduce the resource person, Dr. Sister Candy, Associate Professor of English, Coordinator of IQAC from Andhra, in the Lyra Institute of Engineering and Technology, Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh. Dr. Sister Candy, she's an Associate Professor of English and Coordinator of IQAC from Andhra Lyra Institute of Technology, Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh. She has gained her undergraduation and master's from Acharya Nagarjuna University in English Literature. She has completed her MPhil in Indian Writing in English from Acharya Nagarjuna University, Guntur. She has completed her doctorate in Canadian literature. Her area, she has put on nearly 8 guided many scholars. And to her, she's an editorial board member and a reviewer of many reputed journals. To her academic credit, she has got nearly 20 publications in both national and international origin. She has authored 5 books visiting eco-literature, a critical study of global issues and global perspectives, eco-literature, contemporary discourse, and glimpses of the activities undertaken during COVID-19 pandemic. We have amidst us an accomplished scholar and a renowned academician to engage us with our session on intricacies of writing technical reports. The floor is open to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for your humble invitation. And I thank Dr. Karthik for giving this golden opportunity to share my knowledge and expertise with you. So, as all of you know, that I'll be sharing on importance of technical report writing, intricacies of technical report writing. So first, let me share the screen. Is the screen visible? Are you able to see the screen?
It has not started, ma'am. Yes.
Are you able to see?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes, ma'am, the screen is visible.
Screen is visible, but are you able to see the full slide?
Visible. Yes. No, ma'am. It is there.
1 minute. Are you able to see the screen?
No, ma'am.
Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sister. Now the screen is visible.
Okay. So, hearty welcome to dear students. I am told that there are students and research scholars on this online forum. And thank you for each and every member of Annamalai University, especially IQAC coordinator and team, and the organizers for organizing this one-day international workshop. And I'm so sure that you might have been benefited by your first session by an international speaker. And it was all about IELTS, how important it is, and then how important it is to, update yourself, build up your profile, and then update yourself according to the need of the hour. So what I felt important is even this technical report writing, it plays a very important role. When it comes to placements, when it comes even to job opportunities, when it comes to many other things, we should be able to write a proper technical report because there are many things to be taken into consideration. So I would like to share my knowledge and expertise with you, my dear students of Annamalai University and research scholars and students of Andhra Loyola Institute of Engineering and Technology. I am also very happy to tell you that I have one batch of students along with me, computer science students. So they were also so excited, and then I thought that I would also ask them to listen to this presentation. So this topic is all about intricacies of writing technical report. So let me first of all define what is a technical report. So it can be defined as a formal communication written for a specific purpose, conveying authentic information to a well-defined audience in a completely impartial and objective manner and contain recommendations. So here we look at this definition of technical report writing, two aspects to be taken into consideration. The first one is these technical reports are written as formal communication. So it is not informal, which we talk in our day-to-day life. It's a formal communication and it's a written communication for a specific purpose. Because when you write a report, it has to be written with a particular purpose. Otherwise, the purpose will be.
Excuse me, sister. Just a second.
It should be conveyed to convey an authentic information to the right audience. Before we write these reports, we should know who are the audience. Our report
Sister,
should be
kindly go for slideshow. Show the printed screen. Kindly wait for a few more minutes. The resource person will join shortly.
Okay, now. Sorry for the inconvenience. So I will share my screen once again.
Yes, sister, you can continue.
Okay. Is my screen visible? Screen is visible. Okay. Just a minute. Screen is visible or not? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let me start with a famous quotation. A quotation is all about report writing. So it goes, business reporting is not dealing with object, it is dealing with relationship between the object. So it is not an ultimate focus on the object, but it is dealing with the relationship. So it's very important to know the audience. It is very important to know also what are our goals and objectives and to whom are we writing this report. So technical report is very, very important. And when we look at it, we also know to understand that it is a formal report which was designed to communicate or convey a technical information. The entire crux of the matter of technical report for which it was actually formulated or which it was formed is to design or to convey technical information. And when we look at the background of this technical report, it first appeared in 20th century. And geological survey, when they conducted in US, which was published in series by professionals in various papers beginning in 1902, we saw that there was an advisory committee of aeronautical engineering. They first issued the first technical report in 1915. So the concept of technical report came in 1915. And this report seems to have preferred its designation or from where it actually evolved. The concept which is very popular or familiar today in different concepts we use, especially in a formal communication, the background and the roots go back to 20th century. That is through a geological survey, which was published. So I think many of us will not know this. This is a very quite new information for us. And then now let us come to know, we should know what are the preparatory preparatory steps to be taken into consideration when we write a technical report. So first of all, we should know the purpose and scope of a report, know the audience, relevant data to be drafted, and outline of the report to be given. And there are a few mail questionnaires. So though these are few preparatory steps, these are also some of the concerns of the technical report. This actually will lead the whole thing. Coming to the technical report, there are various types of report. We may know technical report is only one kind of report, but there are various types of reports such as structural report, feasibility report, progress report, evaluation report, analytical report, information report, and periodic report. So I think as students and research scholars, you might have heard in your schooling days, or sometimes you might have heard in your even in your higher education, all about report writing. But we only
just a second.
One kind of report. But we never focus on something called structural report, feasibility report, progress report, evaluation report, analytical report, information report.
Sister, just a second, sister.
Yes.
Sorry for the interruption. Your slide is still, ma'am. It is not moving. You have.
Slide is not moving.
Yeah, it's not moving. It is still. The first slide is only visible. Yeah. Now it is. Yes, yes, sister.
Now the slide is moving.
Yes, yes, sister. It is definition of technical reports.
No. I am not in the definition of technical report. I am in the next slide, actually. I think there is some problem with this. I think the whole connection again will go if I start doing with this. Don't know why is it not moving. Just a minute, I'll reshare the slides then. I'll restart it. Slides here. Is it moving now?
No, ma'am. No, sister. It is in the definition of technical reports.
This I cannot see only. Pilvandi okasari. So technician pilvandi. It's not moving. Okay. Now?
Yes,
okay,
yes,
no?
yes.
Okay,
Sister.
very good.
Yeah.
So I am here. I have just given a definition to the technical report. I have talked about the background of the technical report. I said that technical report first appeared in 20th century. That was started actually by the Department of US, that is Geological Survey, when they took by the series of professionals bringing out a paper that was published in 1902. They brought out such kind of concerns through a technical report writing, and which was, published in 1915. And that was evolvement of this, the technical report got evolved. So it seems to have preferred its designation. That is the background to the technical report. And then I said, what are the preparatory steps to be taken into consideration? As I said into my introductory address, already the purpose and the scope of the report is important. We should know our audience, and there should be a relevant data to be drafted and the outline, etc. Coming to the technical report, there are various kinds of reports. So the first one is structural report, feasibility report, progress report, evaluation report, analytical report, information report, periodical report. Even though these are different kinds of reports, we can see their types vary. We might have, I just mentioned that we might have heard about report writing in our schooling days, and even in our higher studies, higher education, report writing, but we may follow only one structure. But each report is different. Coming to structural report or feasibility report or progressive report, evaluation report, it has its own structure and speciality. So coming to the technical report, overall structure. Now coming to these different kinds of report, there will be different purpose, different audience, and the way it is placed may be different. But coming to the overall structure of the technical report, it starts with the letter of, it starts with a transmittal letter, title page, abstract, table of content, list of figures, executive summary, glossary. So this is, I just spoke about, these are some of the aspects, but here we can see, if you go this way, there is also an introduction, body, conclusion, recommendation, and appendix. So letter of transmittal is important, beginning with the title page, abstract, table of content, list of figures, executive summary, glossary, introduction, body, conclusion, recommendation, and appendix. Now let us see one by one. Let us see kinds of reports and its concern. So first thing what I mentioned was a structural report. So you can see the structure of a house, right? The moment you see a structure with a house, a man standing, definitely you will talk about him as a civil engineer. So he has designed something, and then he is trying to write a report. So down it is also given a small caption over there, a structural report. So structural report, which might also be referred to engineering report, focuses on planning tools used to determine a historical building or a structural condition by analyzing and evaluating foundation, framing, other construction systems and their association construction details. So when you look at this house, the way it is built, what kind of concrete is used, when was it built, what are the bricks involved, or will the house stand, how will this house be after 20 years? So there are many other aspects, to be considered when you write this structural report, which is in connection with a structure, or we call it as engineer's report. So this structural report focuses on primarily, it focuses on planning documentation for decision making about mapping and construction treatments. So it is also focusing on the dates of periods of construction based on the design of recommended work, and ultimately the summary of information, knowing the condition observed at times of survey. So these kinds of reports are very essential for engineers, especially those who are from civil background, to analyze any structure of a building or any structure of a monument or anything, a piece of architecture or art, which will retain or sustain for periods. So this kind of report also has a title of structural report, name of submitting engineer, name of the department, name of receiving committee. Now, when you saw just now, I have shown you this slide. Just I'll go back to the slides. A technical report structure, that is a general structure of a technical report. We have seen title page, abstract, table of content, list of figures, executive summary, glossary, introduction, body, conclusion, recommendation, appendix, and letter of transmittal, that is, beginning, or we can put it attached. So these are very, very important concerns of a technical report. But when it comes to the specific report, we have to know the audience for whom it is written, and we should know also for what it is written. So when it comes to this structural report, the title of a structural report is very, very important. So suppose it is a building. Suppose you are trying to focus on a building which is made up of a very solid concrete, which cannot be destroyed even after 100 years. So your title should go along with what kind of structure it is and what kind of building it is, and the name of submitting engineer who actually brought this experimentation, or who is carrying out this experimentation of this building, name of the department, and name of receiving committee. So these kind of reports are mainly written by the engineers. The second kind of report is feasibility report. So what is feasibility report? Feasibility report is to answer the question, should we implement plan X? Not only does it give recommendation, but it also provides the data and the reasoning behind the recommendation. So it is mainly used to implement some plan, to document a plan and to execute that plan in a proper manner, so that that plan can be definitely used or it can be followed by various people. So when you come to the feasibility report, the structure goes like this. It has introduction, it has criteria, constraints, methods of obtaining facts, overview of alternative options, and evaluation, conclusion, and recommendation. So it doesn't have all the facets of the main report, which I have mentioned to you just before, but it has certain concerns because it takes into consideration the documentary process. So you can see this kind of report is very, very important. And this kind of report is also used by people, those who really plan for 5 years, plan for 10 years. So that is called a feasibility report, wherein they try to bring in a lot of ideas. They try to implement certain things. After to a strategic planning, we have a particular question when you go for accreditation, strategic planning. So that those kind of things we take into consideration, and we try to make a report when we try to, bring ideas together, implementation of planning to execute something, etc. So that is all about a feasibility report. Now coming to the next kind of report, it is called a progress report. So progress report means you can see those lines, right? You can see those lines. Some lines are escalating, some lines are coming down. And what is the main purpose of this progress report? The main purpose of this progress report is to project monitoring and accountability, to see how progress the organization makes, progress which business makes, progress in any sector of life. So these kind of reports are mainly written by the business people or written by some of the, people, those who are into making a lot of progressive development. In progress report, you may explain any of all of this following. The first one is how much of the work is completed, what part of the work is currently in progress, what work remains to be done, what problems or unexpected things are yet to come or ought to come, how the project is going in general. So these kind of concerns are found in progress report. That's the reason you saw these lines. I mean, those lines going up and down. Some are escalating, some are going down. So it tries to take the data in order to build up something progressive for the betterment of the company or betterment of the office, etc. The next kind of report is an evaluation report. So all of you might have heard this word evaluation, because teachers are very familiar with this word and students are also very much familiar. So evaluation means to evaluate. It can be evaluating oneself, it can be evaluating a company, it can be evaluating an employer, etc. Okay, this type of report provides an opinion or judgment rather than yes or no questions. And it may also answer the recommendations. It also provides opinion on value of worth of something. Like, is this company worth serving? How this company is going to benefit? How is it going to pick up the momentum? How is it going to explore many ideas, many dimensions, etc.? And this type of report compares a thing to set up of requirements or criteria that determines how well it meets those requirements. So after end of this evaluation report, it also gives the overall view or the bird's eye view to determine how well it meets those requirements, all the requirements which are raised, the questions which are raised in evaluation report. For example, how is this going to, how is this particular company going to sustain itself by providing these kind of salaries or these kind of opportunities, job opportunities to the young budding, maybe technocrats, or to the young budding software engineers, etc. So it tries to make a documentation, and also it gives a kind of suggestions or requirements for its betterment. So that's why the term evaluation is used, because it evaluates. So what is the purpose of this evaluation report? The purpose of evaluation report has twofold dimension. The first one, it assists in decision making, and second, it really provides a better understanding of project's achievement in the area of improvement. So if something is started so vibrantly, so effectively, first of all, it gives a clear purpose of decision making. Decision making means to decide, to hold on, to stick to, or to stand on whether it can be sustained in the long period of time or not. And on the other hand, it also gives a better understanding of this achievement and its improvement in a long run. So this is all about evaluation report. Now coming to the next kind of report, it is information report. Information report, the word information itself is to provide information. So what do we see in information report? Information report is all about data, about fact, about feedback and other types of information without analyzing or recommendations. So it doesn't take into consideration all these kind of things, analyzing on the recommendations, but it provides a crystal clear data, crystal clear facts, crystal clear feedback, and the other aspects. And on the other hand, the recommendation is the biggest difference between information and analytical report. So just now we are seeing about information report. So information report focuses on the recommendations which doesn't fit into this, because it only gives data, facts and feedback, but it doesn't give the recommendations what you are supposed to do. It gives only information. It only informs. It only informs the status. It only informs the structure. It only informs the position of how the thing is, but it ultimately doesn't give any recommendations. Just like other reports we saw, evaluation or the other things we saw, it gives recommendations to become better. But this kind of report doesn't give any recommendations. And the purpose of information report is very important, because it is to classify and describe the general classes of phenomenon by organizing and recording factual information, the real information. It graphs, or it actually take into consideration, or it tries to record the actual information, the actual facts. And based on that facts, a person will be able to know where he stands, or the company will be able to know how far it is progressing. The next kind of a report is analytical report. So analytical report is, examining a report which examines a problem or an issue and recommends an action. So in the last report, information report, we saw that it doesn't have any recommendation, but in this report, it recommends an action. After analyzing a problem, maybe a sickness, or it can be a kind of anything. You can take a report written on any kind of a problem, any kind of a issue. It may be in a company sector, business sector, or it can be also an issue. It will examine and it will recommend an action. These reports attempts to describe why or how something happens, and then it explains what it means. So it is very, very important for us to know this kind of report, which is useful. And this analytical report is professional document written mostly for a business use. Of course, the others are having its own facet. They can be used in various realms, but this is particularly written in a business use in order to, explore the problem, why that company failed, or what are the factors which brought down the entire loss to the company, or what was a real issue which, brought in the total loss or total failure. So it tries to make a kind of an analytical survey, and it tries to give a solution or a recommendation, not exactly a solution, but a recommendation. So the difference between that kind of report, that is information report, which we dealt just now, and analytical report. Information report only informs, while analytical report gives recommendations. Now, what are the goals of analytical report? It will assess opportunities, solve problems, and supports the decision. So in other words, it will also give a recommendation. And the other kind of report is a periodic report. So what is this periodic report? Periodic report is one which is submitted at regular intervals for the purpose of recording information at regular intervals, after 2 years, after 2 months, after 1 month, anything, or after 15 days. And it is taken almost in any form depending on the project and the frequency of the report requirement. And it also serves to how comparisons or tendencies can be made based on its improvement, based on its drawbacks, etc. So periodic report is periodically taken. It is taken for understanding its growth, understanding its progress, understanding how beautiful it can be. So we have seen different kinds of reports now: structural report, analytical report, okay, progressive report, feasibility report, etc. But once again, when you look at the concept, it is all about the title page, abstract, table of content, list of figures, executive summary, glossary, introduction, body, conclusion, recommendation, and appendix. These are all at the heart of the reality of a report. Maybe as the report varies, certain things are dropped off from this. They are not considered. But when you look at any report, the first thing we talked about a cover page, or we talked about letter of transmittal, a cover page. So cover page includes the following information, that is title of report. I'm sorry. Yeah, cover page. It includes the title of technical report, name of the institution or company. And these cover pages are very, very important because they are viewed by many viewers and they can cast an indelible print on your report. It can create an impression about yourself and about overall report, what it is. As you say, now we decide sometimes looking at the cover of the book only, we will decide what kind of a book it is. Though we say do not judge book by its cover. Sometimes people, when a person looks at the book, look at the cover of the book, immediately he is able to understand what will be the content or what kind of stuff will be there in the book, because the title says that. Unless and until it is an ironical title, or it is having a title with a different idea. But most of the books, right, we try to buy the books with the title. We look at the authors and the title of the text and what the book may be containing all about. Now, if I say about ecofeminism, definitely there will be something of feminism in the text. When I say about women's writing, there will be something about women's writing in the text, right? Or when I say something about technology, definitely there will be something about technology only in the book, because the cover page states that. Like that, when we come to the report, the title of the report is very important, because the matter will focus. All the report is on the matter will focus all about the report, what it is and how it is. The name of the institution and company is equally important, because who has written, how it is written, who are the audience, whom it is written is also important. So that's why when we write a report, the first impression is very important, because it focuses on the cover page. So just look at this. I have taken a report on the study of digital position, readouts and microprocessor system. Okay, processor system by Vipul Gadar. So senior engineer. So this is, his cover page, the way he has written. Now, there are research scholars on this forum, right? So when you publish your theses, or you might have referred to a lot of doctoral theses, the cover page, how it is designed, or when you go for a small project, even the students, those who are there on this forum, both engineering students over here at Andhra Loyola, Annamalai University, when you make a small report, you will be always focusing your attention on the cover page. Students submit assignments. They focus on the cover page, to whom it is submitted, written by whom, and what is the title of the assignment. So similarly, cover page is very, very important when we try to look into the report writing. So see, this is a colorful cover page on internship report cover page. All of you might have taken internships. And so how it is written, how it is published, right? Very, very important to mention. Looking at the diagram itself, we can say that it is IEEE report. It is from the EEE department, or it is all about IEEE, looking at that tower, etc. The title of the report is very important, and it should include title, the author's name, affiliation, appropriately with the date, etc. Otherwise, our reports will all be futile. Nobody will consider those reports even to be read. Table of content, as I said, second part, table of content is very, very important. So it plays a very important role, a predominant role, because the main function of table of content is to locate specific material in your report. So where the material is in the entire report, it indicates according to the table of content. If the book has no page numbers, or the book has no content, you will find it very difficult to locate. Or if you are searching for a specific information, you will find it very difficult even to find. So table of content is patterned after a final outline. It is an optional element to have short report within 1,500 words and long report about 3,000 or more words. Please jot down this number. This is very, very important. So if you want to write a short report, it should have 1,500 words. And if you want to write a long report, it should have 3,000 words. So even table of content is very important, because it indicates titles, subtitles, and the ultimate purpose into those titles. So for proper organization of the table of content, what you are supposed to do, you have to use decimal number, listing the topic and the subtopic. You have to indent the second order and the third order headlines. You have to number each topic and subtopic. And you also have to number the elements to the abstract and summary in a small Roman numericals, or you have to write the introduction onwards in Arabic numericals. So all these are to be followed. The numericals, maybe no Roman numbers or Arabic numbers, topics, subtopics, headlines, keeping a correct indent. So you have your research rule that right-hand side will not be justified, left-hand side will be justified. So coming to the report writing, we have to follow clear-cut indent and also the headlines so that the idea is not misleading. So here I have given a small example of content, though it is not so visible. Table of content, list of title, beginning page, number of each major sections within the report, including the title page and the table of content. So neatly it is written. Introduction. Of course, there is an abstract on page number 2. Then there is an introduction on page number 11. So it goes on accordingly, clearly demanding, clearly indicating the same. So what is an abstract? So abstract is a clear, concise consideration of the purpose and most important results of the report of the project. So what is abstract? It gives a concise idea. In short, a long report which runs to 3,000 words or 1,500 words, short report, it has to be summarized. It has to be, abstracted. It has to be made very brief into a few lines. And the whole thing has to be captured so that the audience will know what exactly is there in this report. The main function of an abstract is to describe and not to evaluate or defend the report. It only has to describe what is there inside the report. So abstract will not evaluate. Abstract may at the most give what is the main aim of this report, what are the objectives of the report, what is the scope of the report, what are the findings of the report, but it will not evaluate or defend anything. It will only give a generalized idea, or it will just summarize all about what is there in the report. That is all that 3,000 words or 1,500 words. So abstract should begin with a brief but precise statement of a problem or issue, followed by description or the method of design and the major findings and the conclusions reached. So these are certain concerns to be taken into consideration when you write an abstract. How to condense an abstract? We find it very difficult because you have written 3,000 words. You have written 1,500 word short report. Now, how to write an abstract? So to write an abstract, firstly, what you have to do is you have to identify the central theme. What is the overall central theme of the report? Then you have to identify the topic sentence. What exactly will match your title, the topic sentence, and identify that idea of the topic sentence. You have to identify all the topic sentences. So there will be not only one topic sentence, but so many topic sentences. And you have to establish that clear-cut relationship with the central theme, which means the central theme of the report. There will be one theme, right? For example, I am writing on ecofeminism. So my central theme is ecofeminism. Or I am writing about technology as a central theme. Or I am writing on artificial intelligence as a central theme. There will be again subtopics. So these subtopics again should be matching with the central theme to justify the idea or to explore the central idea by making justice to that. So identify the topic sentence and establish their relationship with the central theme. Then one thing is verbalize the relationship through illustration, comparisons, etc. So anything you can illustrate it through diagrams. You can illustrate through comparison, contrast, compare. So way of writing, technique of writing is very important. So before writing this abstract, and then we have to verbalize it or we have to visualize it by making some illustrations and all that in order to create an abstract, because abstract cannot be simply, you cannot take a paper and pen and create an abstract, right? You need to get a central theme, you have to get a topic sentence, and then sometimes you need to see what are the other topic sentence. You have to verbalize, you have to visualize. Sometimes you have to draw diagrams, read those diagrams, what are those, and then define those in your own words, prepare a first draft. Then again, verbalization should be done, and you can draft or prune before you could come back to a small clear-cut abstract. So how many words the abstract will be? Abstract is very concise. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines. So abstract of a report will be some 10 lines. So just imagine you have written 3000 words report, and from 3000 words, you are summarizing to 7 lines. So what are those 7 important lines you are going to pick up from 3000 words? So you really need to think over it, because that abstract cannot go futile. Abstract cannot have any word or vocabulary placed in any form. You need to select the right word. You need to select the right shade for the word and put it in such a way that no word is gone waste in the abstract, but it has a meaning, because words have precise meaning. So when you select the words, you should not simply select it for the sake of jargon. You should not select it simply for the sake of making your language flowery. You should not select it for the simply for sake of making something very flowery or looking very, very, very good for the eyes. Because based on that, nobody will understand what is the purpose of your report, and your purpose will be defeated. So if your purpose has to be served, your abstract should be clear cut. It should be only in 7 to 8 lines. What are the list of figures? So when you give inside, when you go inside, plunge inside your report and try to explore various facets of report, you have to focus on graphs, you have to focus on line graphs, pie charts, photographs, sketches, okay, and schematics, etc. So these are techniques of including those kind of diagrams for giving a clear cut picture, or giving, a kind of statistics. Now, suppose you have to present students of Annamalai. How many faculty members are there? 1000 faculty members. How many students are there? 10,000 students. But out of 10,000 students, how many are slow learners and advanced learners? Or out of 10,000 students, how many are, very much familiar with the technology? So if you make a graphical kind of an aspect, immediately we'll be able to identify looking at the graph. But if you give numericals, sometimes the numericals are also misleading. But if you show through these colorful graph, it is very much alluring to our eyes. At the same time, it can make an indelible print on the mind of a speaker or a listener. Technical report includes a mixture of text, tables, figures, and formulae. And it has to be very much clearly numbered. You have to write even those equations or numericals in a proper manner. They should not be misleading. So that data should be perfect data, exact data. With the help of your Excel sheet, help of computer, you can create those diagrams. Now, there is something called executive summary. This executive summary is a bridge between the technical argument and the finding of the main report and the target audience, whether media, decision makers, or any professionals. So it is written in a very well consigned manner, and it will draw the reader's attention to the main report. And it is, it will be cited by the others or used by the others in their own summaries and in their own findings. Executive summary is also, we have seen executive summary even in our NAC document. When you give a NAC report, definitely we give executive summary. NBA report, we make executive summary. So executive summary it is a bridge between the technical argument findings and the main report. It's very, very important and essential to know how about the report. So what should I write in the technical executive summary? So you should try and keep the summary maximum to 2 pages. Now, abstract is only 7 to 8 words, while executive summary is 2 pages. That is 1 sheet of double-sided paper. 1 sheet of double-sided paper. So don't cheat by shrinking the font. If anything, it should be larger than if anything, it should be larger than for one main report. So don't try to shrink the font. Don't try to make it in such a way. So it should be only 1 sheet, and we should have correct spacing, and it should be written in such a way that it should clearly serve the purpose. And if the summary is more than 2 pages, you may sometimes read the reader's what do we call it as? Reader's attention. That's why even in our NAC document, they very clearly mention that the summary should be 300 words or 200 words. So when you write 300, 200 words, 250 words, that is, they have SWOT analysis, they have other aspects to be covered up. So totally they give 1,500 words, or they give 2,000 words. Only those many words should be kept, which will come to 2 pages or so. So it is good to get it down into a single page or even a single paragraph. That will be very much important, essential, and to capture the mind of the audience. The glossary is very important. We called it as appendix at the end of the report writing, glossary. So glossary means the words, selection of the words, not the appendix only at the end of the page, but here glossary is nothing but selection of the words. It will be a book very imperfect or unintelligent without a glossary. So glossary plays a predominant role, very important role. So we need to have a clear-cut glossary. So introduction. What is an introduction? Introduction is, it states the objective of the report and comments on the way of the topic the report is written or treated. It leads straight into the report itself, and it must be copied. It must be a copy of introduction in the lab handout or etc. So these are different kinds of introductions. Again, I mentioned over here, introduction plays important role, just like executive summary and abstract. So technical report introduction, it provides context to the problem addressed, discusses relevant solution, relevant previous research, and states your aim or hypothesis. So it is not an abstract which gives overall idea, and it is not an executive summary which tries to link various aspects, but an introduction is the brief introduction to that particular topic. To help consider these questions, what have you investigated? How does your study fits into the current literature? What have previous studies found in the area? Why is it worth investigating? What are the experiments about? And what did you do about it? So these are different things to analyze when you write your introduction. So just look at this, divide how this body of a report is divided. It is divided into numbered and head sections. So these sessions separate the different main ideas into a logical order. See the structure, how the writer decides on how to structure it, ask questions, what does the reader need to know first, and at the end, the logical way to develop the story or the project. So this is the ultimately body. Everybody knows the body. Body is very important. It sometimes goes on with the topic sentences also. I mean the subtopic sentences, topic sentences, where the main idea will be there and that idea will be, summarized into it. And the last part is a conclusion. A short and logical summing up of the theme developed in the main text is called conclusion. So when you're concluding your report, you should be very, very careful because it will mirror your introduction. Just as I said, introduction is important. It is not abstract or it is not executive summary, but it is directly an introduction to the topic or directly an introduction to the wider area which you have focused on your report. You have to be very sure how it is, when you write conclusion, you have to be very sure what did you refer, what are your aims. You have to summarize the key findings, state your major contributions or concerns or outcomes, and highlight their significance in that context. And then last one is recommendation. So recommendation is also very important because in some reports, it is taken into consideration action statement and then conditional statements. So action statements means type approval should be issued for tunnel. This is an example. I don't want to quote this example, but action statement of any report. Okay, so it is tunnel ventilation fans. They're given what kind of approval should be issued for in order to function those ventilation fans. And conditional statements they are given. If fan blades are painted with an anti-corrosion coated system, it is likely that. So what will happen? Corrosion coating system, it is painted. What will happen to that? So this is other conditional statements. So recommendations means sometimes we also try to give some recommendations when we write a report. It can be recommended that this report can be further investigated or it can be further applied in this dimension, or it can fit into this particular area, or this report has been written in this context, but the recommendation has been made that it can also be written in the various other contexts. So those kind of recommendations are also essential for report. References are very important because unless and until you give references, your ideas cannot be clear, and they can be done with a data table, figures, clear-cut citations, and also exact references from the sources. Coming to the appendix. So it is not exactly like a glossary. What I said, glossary means the selection of words. Your appendix is mainly adding a further material which is essential for fully understanding your report. So what is lagging in the report, you are again exploring it, or you are also trying to give the additional information for the readers, or those who are going to read your report, or those who are going to know about your report to know better about it. So if you have data that is too detailed or lengthy to be included in the report itself, it can be included in appendix. So many things cannot be, accommodated in the report. So that's why we try to give it in the appendix, so that appendix becomes a referential kind of thing for others to refer with a particular link, or sometimes a small kind of a write-up or correct details, etc. So a technical report requires a part of assessment. The following presentation guidance are required. So this is one presentation which I have taken. A small script, its margin, its page number, its binding, just a small example. And then letter of transmission. What is letter of transmittal? Letter of transmittal means a letter for what it was written. A report to whom it is written, or to which company it is written. And your report comprises of what, and what is there into that report, and what is the occasion you have written, and what is the statistical data you have given, or just brief kind of a report. That is called a letter of transmittal. So to whom it is written? To the chairman. So it is about internship placement office. So I am very pleased to submit the report on my internship, which I took at so and so or such and such place. So what happened to that when I was undergoing that internship, and what are the various possibilities I explored, in what way that internship has helped me, etc. So once again, you have to brush up every report. If a technical report has to be successful, okay, there are different kinds of reports I have said to you. If it has to be successful, it should have letter of transmittal, which is very important. It can be written at the end or at the beginning. It is just required for submission. Title page, abstract, table of content, list of figures, executive summary, glossary, introduction, body, conclusion, recommendation, and appendix. I think all these areas, part by part, I have covered it. I have told you the relevance and importance of it, but it all depends on what kind of report it is. If it is feasible report, it will be different. It is a structural report, it will be different. And had I to explore all these kinds of reports and what all is containing in this report, and the structure and the type each report is written, I think we need many classes. It cannot be covered up in such a small duration of time, right? So checklist for an effective technical writing. Is the language clear and easy to understand? Is the style formal? Are the conclusions and recommendations clearly linked with the purpose and the based on findings? Is the grammar and punctuation correct? Are the spellings okay? So these are different things you have to check in a checklist before you submit your technical report, if it is successfully written. So all you know to do is, all you have to understand is, all of you have to do it. All of you have to do is write one true sentence. Write the truest sentence that you know. That's it. So technical report is not cut, paste, copy. You take it from somewhere and copy it and just paste it. It is that you frankly write. That's why Ernest Hemingway, he very clearly has mentioned, what you need to do is, you need to write one true sentence. Like one idea can change the world, right? So your true spontaneous statement can even change the whole thing. You may have that brilliant idea, and that brilliant idea may strike someone, and it can become, a great key to success, right? So that is what I'm trying to say. You write one genuine sentence, write the truest sentence that you know. And it is not my opinion, it is Ernest Hemingway's opinion. And for that, you have to follow up some of the books. I usually used to deal with my MA English students at PB Siddhartha, Krishna Mohan, and Meera Banerjee's book. You have these technical reports. There are other books which I have suggested on technical writing, how to write a technical report. So if you refer to some of these books, you may have a very big library in your college, in your university. You can definitely refer to that, to those books, wherein you will get to know many more ideas, wherein you can, really become good writers and submit good reports, not only for yourself, but for your retaining the job, or after getting even a job, or somewhere you're reporting, if you have worked, experience, anything. Report is very important, even to give an assignment in any form. That's why I referred. It is very important, you students, to get ready with this technical report, because even when you go for your drives, sometimes they ask you write a report on your internships, what you have taken, or you write a report about your experience. So they would like to test your language. They would really like to know what happened to you. So these kind of reports really serve a purpose, and all of us should take a pen, because pen is mightier than a sword, and start writing and make this world a better place. So here I conclude with my presentation, and thank you for giving me this golden opportunity.
Thank you, sister.
Yes.
That was a wonderful presentation.
Yes.
The participants to have an interaction with the resource person. If you have any queries, you can talk to the resource person and get it clarified.
So participants are welcomed to share your views and ideas. No problem. You can share your views and ideas. If you have any.
Participants, if you have got any questions, you can share it in the chat box, or you can even unmute yourself and talk to the resource person.
Yeah, you can keep it. You can put it in the chat box, even in the chat box. No problem. If you have any questions about report writing.
Yes, sister.
This is not an easy topic. It's a very, very tough topic, actually. And it is, you know, when we deal in the classes also, it's a very difficult thing to be dealt with, because whole thing has to be explained, and then we have to follow up whether students are really doing it or not. So it's not that it involves a Herculean task, but actually it should come from within. Each person should be able to write his or her own report. Then only you can make an indelible print on the mind of the listener or reader, whoever you are going to address through your report. So it is also self-effort. We all of us have to make self-effort, because teachers can only tell. Style differs, right? Each person is a style. Now, I cannot exactly speak like your madam, or madam cannot speak like Dr. Karthik. Each person is different. Each person is different. We have our vocabulary, we have our style, we have our body language. So coming to the written communication also, it differs. So this is nothing but it's an idea. Only we have a structure we need to follow, but ultimately it is an idea. When you have an experience, now internship, you have an experience, only you will not write about the tangible experience. If you go to your teacher and ask that I have attended an internship, please write an experience. Now my experience you write. How can that teacher write an experience, right? You need to write your own experience, because you have experienced. Or if you are an observer in that experience, what you have observed, another person might have not observed. So we have to be very careful. Or sometimes it is a committee report, group report, where group of people are assigned the same task to observe. So that works on in a different dimension. It depends on what kind of report it is and how it is written. For academic purpose it is written, or it is written only on the paper for the sake of passing in the examination, or it is really written with a purpose, as I said you, about company, etc. Yeah. So anybody has a question? Yeah. Progress report depends on what things, ma'am. Yeah, progress report is all about the progress. All about the progress in the company. Suppose there is a boss, and boss would like to check whether his employees are progressing or not. So he may ask each employer to write down the list of things they did in that particular period or particular month or particular on that very day. Write down, make a report, and then he can take a collective opinion of everyone and make a report and see how far the company has progressed. So it is used for checking up how it is escalating, how it is going up, how it is progressing. That's it. But again, it has a structure. It is always to have checks and bounds, right? To check out how things are moving. Anything else? Yeah. So I think very dedicated faculty members and students. My students, I think 1 hour is over and they had to move for the next class. So that's why they had to sign out. Otherwise, they were very much attentive and they have a high appreciation for Annamalai University. They would like to also come to your university because we have heard about your university so much. Dr. Karthik keeps telling about the department, about you all, and about IQAC, which is very, very strong, and everybody contributing so much. So we are very proud. I am very proud actually, though it is an online forum. I am very proud to be with Annamalai University. and my students all were over here. So greetings from all of us. And thank you for this opportunity. But it is very good that we have these kind of interactions in person. Because online, there are technical problems. Even this morning, we had an international workshop. Just, those people are there in the hotel and I had to rush. That's the reason I couldn't connect it. I asked Dr. Karthik, that I will run in short of 5 to 10 minutes. So actually, the whole thing, it prolonged. We thought everything would be over by 1 o'clock. But it went even that lunch break, they sat over there. I had to leave them and I had to run over here in the college because I had my slides in the computer. Without computer, I cannot do this. So that's the reason.
Thank you very much, sister, for the nice words.
Yeah. Thank you. But proud to be with you. And I hope to see you all in person. And my best wishes for your wonderful students and to all of you.
Yes, sister. Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am. Please stop your presentation so that we can have full screen.
Yes. Thank you. Hello.
Please stop the presentation. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Is there any other questions from the participants?
Do you have any questions? Students, do you have any questions? Research scholars, do you have any questions? Since it is an international workshop, you might have heard so much in the morning. International speaker might have given you a lot of inputs about IELTS and about different placements and whatnot. I can imagine so many things she might have spoken. So if you have any doubts, any queries, anything to share or say, please, you are most welcome.
Okay.
Yes, sister.
Yes.
If there are no other questions, we'll try to close it.
Yeah, let us call it a day.
Yes, sister.
Yes.
Just to summarize what has been done in this 1.5 hour session.
Okay.
Sister Candy has started her presentation on origin of technical reports, and she has narrated the various types of reports, namely structural report, feasibility report, progress report, evaluation report, information report, analytical report, and periodic reports. She has also narrated the various contents of the technical report structure, starting from the cover page, the table of contents. She has even narrated the way of writing a condensed abstract, executive summary, etc. And then the glossary. She has given even the nuances to be taken care while writing the introduction, body, conclusion, and recommendations. Thank you so much, sister.
Yes.
It was a very much informative session, I could rather say.
So you have created an abstract out of my presentation. That itself is called abstract writing. So you have with your Thanksgiving that you created an abstract out of my report.
Yes, it is a comprehensive report, I would rather say. We're so grateful to you, sister. And you have really drenched us with all the intricacies of writing this technical report. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. We'll close it. Yes. Thanks is an expression that will make us to remember our fellow people. Now, to say these formal words of thanks, I would like to call Dr. K. Shailila, assistant professor in education department, and one of the joint secretaries of this program, to render her formal word of thanks.
A warm and pleasant good evening to all. I feel honored and privileged to take this opportunity on behalf of the organizing team to propose a vote of thanks for the one-day international workshop on essential skills for career building and development organized by IQAC-ANNAMALai. We hope that the workshop was very fruitful and it is a time for a formal closure with vote of thanks. We place on record our sincere gratitude to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor R.M. Kadarisan sir, for his support and motivation to the activities of IQAC. Thank you, sir. My hearty thanks to our respected Registrar, Professor K. Sitaraman sir, for lending the administrative and academic support. Thank you, sir. It is our pleasant duty to extend our sincere and heartfelt gratitude to our beloved Professor Dr. S. Arivadanambi sir, Director of IQAC, for leading us from the front. Without his support, we would have not have been able to organize such programs at frequent intervals. Thank you, sir. On behalf of IQAC and the organizing team and on behalf of all the participants, we register our profound and sincere thanks to our resource persons, Professor Saji Krishna sir and Dr. Sister Candy ma'am, for delivering their fullest resources. Without their effective deliberations, the workshop would have not been attained its objectives. We record our warm gratitude to them. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. We are delighted to thank the enthusiastic participants who have registered for this program from across the country and also from other countries. It was you who made the program a success. Thank you, one and all, and we expect your cooperation and participants in our future endeavors. We thank Dr. Rajesh sir for his warm rendering of invocation and Arasar Vartu in the inaugural function. We extend our thanks to the supporting staff of the IQAC for their support and help. Thank you, one and all, for making this program a grand success. Thank you. A feedback form will be shared in few seconds in the chat box. Kindly give your feedback. We'll be posting in the WhatsApp also. And sir, the certificate will be issued to your mail in a week or so. For any queries, you can contact the organizing team members. So please kindly wait. The feedback form will be shared. It will be posted again in WhatsApp also. Thank you. Madam.
Sister,
Yes.
just we'll take a group. All the participants are requested to unmute your video so that we'll take a snapshot of it, of all the participants. I kindly request all the participants to unmute your video.
I am muted. Thank you so much. Thanks to all the professors. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Amazing.
Always full, madam. Got it. Sir, YouTube பண்ணுங்க. ஒரு recording close பண்ணுங்க. Madam, wait. Yes, you can leave. Please fill the feedback form. You can leave.